I came home to surprise my wife, but it turned into a brutal revenge. Reddit cheating stories. I still remember the feeling of that night, the mix of excitement and nervous energy rushing through my veins as I turned the key to my own front door. I had been away for weeks on a work trip, but instead of telling my wife, Emily, I wanted to surprise her. I had this whole plan. I'd sneak in quietly, set up candles, her favorite dinner, and leave a little note on the counter that said, "For the love of my life, thank you for waiting for me." But what I found waiting for me was not love. It was betrayal, so raw, so brutal, that it shattered the very foundation of everything I thought I knew about marriage. As I pushed the door open, I noticed something strange. There were extra shoes by the entrance. Not just any shoes, men's sneakers I didn't recognize. At first, my heart tried to defend her. Maybe a family member had stopped by. Maybe a neighbor. But as I stepped inside, I could hear it. Laughter. A man's laughter. And then, Emily's voice. Soft. Flirty. Whispering the kind of words I thought she saved only for me. My heart sank, but my feet carried me forward. I crept down the hallway, each step feeling like I was walking into a nightmare I couldn't wake from. And then I saw them, on our couch, tangled up, kissing as if I didn't exist, as if our marriage vows meant nothing. I wanted to scream. I wanted to tear the walls down. But instead, I froze. My whole body felt numb, my mind racing 1,000 miles an hour. For a few moments, I just stood there, invisible in my own home. They didn't even notice me. That, perhaps, was the most painful part. Finally, Emily looked up and saw me. Her eyes widened, and her face drained of color. The man, some stranger I had never seen before, just sat there, completely shameless, as if caught in the act was no big deal. Michael, I can explain, she stammered, pulling a blanket around herself like that would somehow hide the truth. But there was no explanation, no excuse that could cover up what I saw with my own eyes. The woman I had sacrificed for, worked endless hours to provide for, the woman I thought would be the mother of my children, was looking at me like a stranger. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just looked at her. Sometimes silence speaks louder than rage. And in that silence, something inside me snapped, not in a way that made me reckless, but in a way that made me clear. I turned around, walked out of the house, and left them there. Emily shouted after me, but I didn't stop. Over the next few days, I spiraled. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying the moment in my head, wondering what I did wrong, where I failed. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized, I didn't fail. She did. She made the choice to betray me. And if she thought I was just going to walk away quietly, she was dead wrong. That's when the idea of revenge began to take shape. Not the kind of revenge you see in movies with fists and broken glass. No. This would be calculated. Controlled. A revenge that didn't destroy me but instead freed me. I hired a private investigator, someone who could gather hard evidence of Emily's affair. Within days, I had photos, videos, text messages, all of it neatly documented. It turned out this wasn't a one-time mistake. She had been seeing this man for months, meeting him while I was away on business trips. My heart ached, but my resolve hardened. One evening, I invited Emily's parents, my parents, and a few close friends over for a special dinner. Emily was confused but didn't question it. She assumed, as always, that I was doing something nice. When everyone was seated, I stood up and raised a glass. Tonight, I said, I want to share the truth about my marriage. I pulled out the folder of evidence and laid it on the table. Gasps filled the room as photo after photo revealed the depth of her betrayal. Emily's face turned pale, her lips trembling as the weight of her actions crushed her in front of the people whose respect she valued most. Her parents were speechless. My parents were furious. And Emily broke down crying, begging me to stop. But I didn't. I looked her in the eyes and said, "You wanted to humiliate me behind my back. Tonight, I return the favor, but with the truth. I gave you love, loyalty, and a home. You gave me lies." The silence that followed was heavy, almost suffocating. But in that silence, I felt something I hadn't in weeks: relief. That night, I packed my bags and left. No yelling. No second chances. Just a quiet, final goodbye. The divorce process was grueling, but I came out of it stronger. I moved into a new place, focused on my career, and eventually reconnected with old friends I had lost touch with because I was always so wrapped up in Emily's needs. Months later, Emily reached out. She cried, begged for forgiveness, claimed she made a mistake. But I wasn't the same man anymore. I didn't carry the weight of her betrayal anymore. I had found peace in letting go. Revenge, I realized, wasn't about destroying her. It was about exposing the truth and reclaiming my power. And the most important lesson I learned: love should never make you feel small. The right partner doesn't betray your trust, they protect it. And sometimes, the most powerful revenge isn't anger, it's moving forward with dignity, leaving those who hurt you to drown in the mess they created.